he asks you what's wrong and you say, nothing, everything's fine. Men do this too. I don't want to talk about it. And it is destructive because it sends a powerful, powerful message to your partner. Is your marriage going to make it? You've heard the statistics about the success rate of marriages these days. And if you are a woman in an extremely difficult marriage yourself or long-term partnership, I'm sure that you're asking the question, is this marriage going to last? I'm sure you're asking the question of yourself, do you even want this marriage to last? Well, I'm not telling you whether to stay or go, but I am going to unpack in this video how you can tell if your marriage will last if nothing changes. Hey, I'm Dr. Don Russell of the Russell Healing Institute. And in the Russell Healing Institute, we help women who want to stay in their relationship, flourish, and stay successfully in the relationship, even if their partner is narcissistic, gaslighting, a very difficult man to live with. We use research-guided techniques and tools that have been proven to improve her well-being and subsequently improve the marriage. Okay, let's get into it. I want to remind you, I am a psychotherapist with nearly 30 years of experience, but I'm not your psychotherapist, and so this is not therapy we're doing here. This is information. All right, so John and Julie Gottman of the Gottman Institute, they are beacons of light in the world of couples, books and podcasts and YouTube videos like this one. They're beacons of light because what they're bringing to the world, to the field, is research. They're not bringing ideas. This is what I think is what you should do in your relationship. They're bringing research. Here's what's proven to be difference makers in long-term committed relationships. And so in this video, what I want to unpack for you is your signs and indicators that if things don't change in your relationship, it's going to end. Two important details there, that what they are going to be pointing to and what I'm going to summarize in this video are absolutely changeable. They're absolutely changeable. So this is not destiny. Things can change if the dynamic in the relationship changes. So let's get into it. Let's get into the details. What do they find, and what do you need to know? They have identified what they call the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So very dramatic term. Basically, here's four indicators. If these things are happening, if you're doing them or if your partner is doing them, if they don't change, these predict with a high level of certainty demise of the marriage, demise of the relationship. What are they? Well, one is criticism. If you are criticizing your partner or if your partner is criticizing you, then that has a corrosive effect over long term, and indicates that this marriage is in a downward spiral. It's likely to end if nothing changes. What's a criticism? Just to be really specific here, a criticism is when we are attacking the character, when we're attacking the person of our partner. So calling names that's a good way to simplify it. You're a slob, you're lazy, you are, X, Y, and Z. That's attacking the person. That is a negative indicator. In the video linked up there, I'm going to unpack in much more detail what you should do instead if you are having a little reality check here and going, oh geez, I think I do that. What to do instead. And also, more importantly, is if you are on the receiving end of criticism, here's what you should do instead to mitigate the effects of that. So we're going to get there. So first one is criticism. Second one is defensiveness. So if you are on the receiving end of criticism and you're responding with defensiveness, that also spells the end of the relationship. Not overnight necessarily, but maybe death by 1,000 cuts kind of end of relationship. So defensiveness is blame shifting. It looks like no, no, I didn't do that, or no, you don't understand, or excusing behavior. If you are being criticized for, leaving a mess in the kitchen, for example, and you respond with, oh, yeah, but, I was changing the baby's diaper, and so, that's why, right? That person hasn't taken responsibility for the misdeed of leaving a messy kitchen, right? That's defensiveness. Evading responsibility, blame shifting, explaining without taking responsibility or accountability. Again, in the video up there, I'm going to explain what to do if your partner is doing the defensiveness. And that's super important. Number 3 is stonewalling, and women and men both do it in different ways, but it shows up in relationships, and it is a very negative indicator. This relationship is not going to go well in the future unless this changes. Stonewalling stereotypically here, so please excuse the stereotype, but it's a trend. Shutting down the conversation with fine, okay, or I don't want to talk about it, or he asks you what's wrong and you say nothing, everything's fine. Shutting down the conversation, closing the door to dialogue. Men do this too. I don't want to talk about it, or something along those lines, right? It's shutting down the conversation, closing off intimacy and connection. That's stonewalling, super destructive. The fourth one, most destructive at all, most corrosive, most damaging, is contempt. So this is sometimes verbal, sometimes non-verbal, basically communicating to your partner that they are not even worth dialoguing with. So contempt can be a rolling of the eyes when your partner, brings up a topic, right? So for example, if your husband says, hey, I'm thinking about going fishing again this weekend with the boys, and we'll be back Monday night, and you go, again, that's contempt, right? It's looking down with contempt on the other person, and it is destructive because it sends a powerful, powerful message to your partner. So those are really their behaviors, and they are destructive. They have been clinically proven to predict the demise of the relationship. So if you are a woman that is in an extremely difficult and toxic marriage, but you want the marriage to persist, for whatever reason, we all have our own reasons. For many women that we work with at the Russell Healing Institute, it's because of their faith convictions. Christian woman or Hindu woman that wants to hold on to the relationship for her religious or spiritual convictions. We help women with that. It might be because of, hey, I know the financial implications of divorce will be devastating for me, so I need to find a way to stay. It might be for the sake of the kids. I want my kids to have an intact home. Whatever it is, we can be helpful for you. The link is below to reach out and get more information about how we help women at the Russell Healing Institute through our Detox Your Marriage program. Check out the link. Check out these other videos that will get into more detail about how to be different instead of these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and also how to respond constructively if your partner is doing these things to you. Okay, so check out the other videos, and